Dear all, welcome to Civil Services with ZAKI, and today we are going to start a new series, and this new series is very significant for the civil services aspirants like you and other students, basically who are really struggling for the searching of the best material or best quality material. So as you know, our video is the best quality material, and also you see the research and all that. So today we start a new series. Name of the new series is the major environmental concept. Major environmental concept means like the major geographical concept. Similarly, you can find various topic and various subtopic in the ecology and environment, and basically all these ecology and environment related series are very significant for the civil services examination, whether it is a state PCS or the UPSC, and also competitive exam. So for these and all video, please subscribe our channel and don't forget to press the bell icon. And also if you want to help us, because as you know, this research basically need a rigorous labor and all that, so we need some help from you. So if you want to donate us or help us, then you can scan this and donate. So we move forward and see what are the today's subtopic and today's topic. So today's topic is what are the structure and functions of ecosystem. So as you know, ecology and environment are very significant topic, so that's why we start today with the ecosystem. So what is the ecosystem, and why the present day ecosystem are degrading across the world, and some of the lakes are dying and all that. So we start and see what are the today's subtopic. So we move forward and see what are the structure and functions of the ecosystem, and also we see the ecosystem structure and see abiotic component, biotic component, and also ecosystem functions, and the cyclic movement of the nutrients. So how nutrients move in the ecosystem, and also role of the atmosphere. So what is the role of the atmosphere in the ecosystem, and how human can impact these ecosystem, and we can also study some of the cases in the globe. So in this case we present Aral Sea. So see here, Aral Sea, a dying ecosystem. So if you see the Aral Sea, dying ecosystem, it is the aquatic ecosystem or terrestrial ecosystem. So we move forward and start with the ecosystem. And what is the ecosystem function? So what are the structure and functions of the ecosystem? So if you see, all the ecosystem consist of the storage and flow of matter and energy and interaction between the organism and the population of organism. So how and why this type of the energy basically circulate with the matter and organism and all that. So if you see the interaction between the organism and the population of the organism. So if you want to, what is the organism, what is the population, what is the biome and all that, then you must join our regular class of the ecology and environment in various coaching across the Delhi and NCR, and also you can download our app for the specific class. So basically the component of an ecosystem can be categorized into a structure and the functions of the ecosystem. So ecosystem also have a variety of spaces for a wide array of organisms to exist, both supporting and supported by the ecosystem. So both, if you see the structure and the functions, so these structure and function, so both supported by the ecosystem. So your life and all human activities and also depend on the ecosystem. So if we degrade the ecosystem, then we also degrade our own life. So let's we see, as you know, we present best graphics to understand the each and every concept of ecology, environment, on science tech and all that. So here you understand and see this ecosystem structure. So here, yes, see, this is an ecosystem, and this ecosystem include, if you see, the land, also water and all that. So see here, ecosystem structure consists of the biotic. So see here, this is biotic component. Cow, you see cow and the tree and all that are basically biotic component. Another is abiotic component. Abiotic component means land, air, here you see water, all that belong to the abiotic component, and also energy. So if you imagine energy from the sun, energy from the microbes and all that, so these are the basically flow of the energy and the, the interaction between the biotic and abiotic substances. So in the most of the cases, these are the tangible, observable aspects of an environment. So you can easily recognize in the environment. So observe the ecosystem structure shown in this diagram. So you can minutely observe this diagram to how this type of the ecosystem arranged, so structure. So we move forward and see the first abiotic component. So abiotic component, basically in this side detected here, most of the obvious abiotic component are land, water and air. Means land, water and air. Land, water and air. These are the abiotic component. So for the land, if we consider land here, land, so there is a surface as well as the material. So if you see the land is also surface where cow and all other things are present, and also used as a material. So like the soil, rocks beneath the, so if you see the soil, rock, etc., these are the also provide the material of them. So less obvious biotic structure would be include gas and small particles in the air. So if you see, the less obvious structure is gas and small particles in the air. Energy content, the basically the sunlight and the nutrient in the soil and the chemical dissolved in the water. So all these present in the ecosystem are abiotic component. So we move forward and see what is biotic component. So let's see in this picture biotic component. So biotic components include the cow, trees and basically low bushes and grass and the root of the plant. So see, this is biotic component, this is biotic component, this root is also biotic component, and also you see this type of the grass. So all these are the cow, tree, and also if you see the roots of this tree are also a biotic component. So other biotic component, if you see, but certain to be less visible. You can't see some of the smaller biotic component here because they are very small, like the insects, like the birds and burrowing animals. So and also bacteria present in the soil, also fish, algae and other organism in the water. So some other organism also a biotic component, like the fish, like the algae and other aquatic animal also present. So also these are a biotic component. So these, whether it is present in the water, land, or the beneath the land. So these are considered as the biotic component. So let's we move forward and see the another aspects. So if you see here, so to understand this ecosystem means biotic, abiotic, and energy influence, and understand the structure of the certain specific areas, basically ecosystem. So one of the first thing we would want to inventory of the ecosystem structure. So what is a inventory of the ecosystem structure is how many tree and cow there. So if you assume how many, 1 2 3, how many trees, 1 2 3 4, so you count 1 2 3 4 trees. So if we record all these and after few years we noticed some of the trees disappear, it means the ecosystem degraded or maybe in danger. So how thick of the soil also, how thick of the soil, and what is the pH of the water. It means salinity of the water, it decrease or increase. It's also depend on the, so geologist or ecologist, geographer and ecologist. So if you see the geographer or the ecologist do similar type of inventory and quantitative measurement for the structure in the ecosystem. So ecosystem assessment or environment assessment done by the ecologist or the geographer. Similar quantitative measurement of the structure in the ecosystem. So they quantify the structure of the ecosystem and why this structure of the ecosystem change in the course of the time. Now we move forward and see the functions, ecosystem functions. Ecosystem functions. Let's we assume the energy flow and all that. So ecosystem functions. So ecosystem functions are the dynamic process that occur in the environment to support the ecosystem. Basically, it is dynamic process. So this figure show a few processes that occurring in the in this scene. So see here, basically energy received by the sun, photosynthesis, gaseous exchange, and water uptake, nutrient cycle, basically digestion or by the animal, decomposition, soil formation. All these are the dynamic processes. So if you see the energy come from the sunlight and converted into the energy into the plant and finally plant to the animal. So this is the dynamic process. So let's we see one by one. Number one, if you see here, some ecosystem functions occur on or near the land surface. So if you see the some ecosystem land surface, including the sprouting of new individual, shedding of leaves, cycling movement of the nutrient, and the uptake and release of the water and their eventual demise and return of their component to the soil or other side. So if you see the water uptake, these are basically happen on the surface. So one of the basically functions happen in the surface, like the new tree germinate all, and also trees shedding their leaves, and finally these leaves are decomposed. So these are the continuous cyclic process. And as you know, in this series, basically in major geographical environmental series, we provide you several in what is the carbon cycle, what is the nitrogen cycle, what is the sulfur cycle, and what is the oxygen water demand and all that. So this series is going to be very significant for you and other students who are basically preparing for the civil services examination for 2024, 2025 and all that. As you know, our lecture or our video is very significant. Some of the direct question you can find in the civil services examination. So So we move forward and see other ecosystem process. So what is the other ecosystem? So other ecosystem process involve atmosphere. First you see land and another is the atmosphere. If you see, so atmosphere. So what happened? So such changes in the amount of the sunlight from day to night. So as you know, radiation basically received in the daytime more, and after in night less or zero. Further, season to season, from winter to the summer. Also, constant change in the gases between the atmosphere and the organism, like the breathing, respiration, you see here, respiration, and also the other process include the wind, evaporations, and time of the precipitation. After the precipitation is you know the fresh water into the system and causes basically the process of runoff and infiltration. So you see causes of the infiltration and precipitation. So what is precipitation and all that, if you want to know more about what is precipitation, then you must watch this video on the specific precipitation. And also if you want to the water cycle or water budget, so what is water budget and all that, you can also find water video on water budget in on my channel. So this is this video. So you can watch this video and also the water cycle. So these are the basically dynamic process. So water cycle, you see here, uptake of the water, evaporation, and basically these are the basically functions of the ecosystem. Another small things are also present but less noticed. A number of ecosystem functions are also important but so obvious, not so obvious. So these include the capturing and converting the sunlight, basically photosynthesis here. Photosynthesis basically capturing and converting sunlight. Basically this process is called fixation, like the also you can find nitrogen fixation and all that. So the decomposition of the organism and the chemical and physical weathering that basically slowly create the soil. So if you see here the soil formation due to the as you know the weathering, chemical and physical weathering, and that slowly form the soil. So these are the basically functions of the ecosystem. So why this ecosystem or the certain specific area ecosystem are significant? Because it is very significant for your climate or your environment, because if you degrade this type of the ecosystem and you can basically eradicate or in some type of the species, then it's going to the catastrophic for the human or humanity. So let's see one of the example. One of the example is Aral Sea, a dying ecosystem. Aral Sea, a dying ecosystem. So if you see here the pictures, two pictures here. This is 1960s picture and this is present picture. So if you see why this type of the ecosystem degraded in this area, because in 1960 the Russian diverted flow the Amu Darya and the Sir Darya river to provide irrigation to agriculture, specifically cotton. And basically cotton and no this Russian area and no independent state called Uzbekistan. So if you see the Uzbekistan is the one of the leading producers of the cotton. But what the cost? Basically when the stream were diverted, the Aral Sea with the time was the world fourth at the time, 1960s, 1960 and present day. 2023, 1960 and the present day. So see here, this is 1960. So see how big. And after the present day, so in 1960 it is the fourth largest lake in the world. And after the lost most of its inflow, it's become 1/10 of the former area. So this is 1960, and now this is 1/10 of it. So see here, total these area dried. So what is the consequences of this dryness or degradation of the ecosystem? So see here, the lack of the inflow sharply increased the salinity in the sea. It means salinity increases and the entire aquatic ecosystem died. And this created impact. After these aquatic ecosystem died, it's create great impact on the land surface that contributed the declining in the terrestrial ecosystem. Also, you can see declining in the terrestrial system. So local temperature has become more severe. Winter means very cold winter, and summer very hot summer. So why this type of the catastrophic situation happen in this area? Because the human diverted some of the rivers for own benefit, but ultimately basically if you see, they don't give any benefit, because nature is nature. So that's why I also always in support of the don't interfere with the nature. If you interfere with the nature, nature definitely take the revenge. So see here, ecosystem dryer. So if you see here some type of the greenery in 1960, but if you see, no, it means some type of the land ecosystem found near the in 1960, but no, you can't find the such type of the ecosystem. So that's why the preservation of the ecosystem is the one of the most significant thing. So I hope you understand and also all things. So we will meet in the next video in the next week. As you know, I hope I will cover all the topic regarding the ecology environment. But if you have any question regarding the ecology environment, science, tech and geography, then you ask any question in the in our new video series, Ask ZAKI Sir. This Ask ZAKI Sir. So but don't forget to subscribe our channel, and also if you are willing, it's voluntary. If you are want to help me, then please help us. So thanks for watching this video. Thanks a lot.